The mystery of the Mary Celeste, the ghost ship of the Atlantic. On December 4, 1872, sailors aboard the British ship Dei Gratia spotted a vessel drifting aimlessly in the Atlantic Ocean. The ship appeared undamaged and seaworthy, but something about it seemed strange. As the crew approached, they noticed there was no sign of activity on board. The mysterious ship was the Mary Celeste, a merchant brigantine that had left New York City nearly a month earlier on a journey to Genoa, Italy. What the sailors discovered would become one of history's greatest maritime mysteries. The Mary Celeste had departed New York Harbor on November 7, 1872. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, an experienced and respected sea captain, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and 7 crew members. The ship was carrying more than 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol destined for Italy. Everything appeared normal when the voyage began. Captain Briggs was known as a skilled sailor with a strong reputation. His crew was experienced, and the weather conditions at departure were favorable. Nothing suggested that the journey would become one of the most famous mysteries in maritime history. Nearly a month later, the crew of the Dei Gratia found the Mary Celeste drifting between the Azores Islands and the coast of Portugal. When a boarding party climbed aboard, they expected to find sailors in distress. Instead, they found nobody. The ship was completely deserted. Captain Briggs, his family, and every crew member had vanished without a trace. What made the discovery even stranger was the condition of the vessel. The Mary Celeste was not sinking. Its sails were damaged but still functional. The cargo remained largely untouched. Food and drinking water supplies were sufficient for several months. Valuable personal belongings, money, and navigational instruments were still on board. There were no signs of a violent struggle. No blood. No evidence of piracy. No indication that anyone had been attacked. The only major clue was that the ship's lifeboat was missing. Investigators quickly began asking questions. Why would an experienced captain abandon a ship that was still capable of sailing? Where had the passengers and crew gone? And why was there no trace of them anywhere in the Atlantic Ocean? As news of the discovery spread, theories emerged across Europe and America. Some people believed pirates had attacked the ship and kidnapped everyone on board. However, this theory had problems. Pirates usually stole valuables and cargo, yet both remained untouched. Others suspected mutiny. Perhaps the crew had rebelled against Captain Briggs and fled. But investigators found no evidence of conflict or violence. Another theory suggested that the cargo of industrial alcohol may have leaked fumes into the ship. Captain Briggs could have feared a massive explosion and ordered everyone into the lifeboat temporarily. If rough weather separated the lifeboat from the ship, those aboard might have been lost at sea while the Mary Celeste drifted away. Many historians consider this one of the most plausible explanations. Yet it remains unproven. Over the years, even more dramatic theories appeared. Some writers blamed sea monsters, giant squids, or mysterious ocean phenomena. Others claimed the crew had been abducted by supernatural forces. These ideas captured public imagination but lacked evidence. Official investigations failed to solve the mystery. The authorities examined the ship carefully and found no definitive explanation for the disappearance. Every clue seemed to create more questions. The Mary Celeste itself continued sailing under new owners after the incident. However, the ship's reputation as a cursed vessel followed it wherever it went. In 1885, 13 years after the famous mystery, the Mary Celeste met its final fate when it ran aground near Haiti. The ship was destroyed, ending its physical journey but not its legend. Today, more than 150 years later, the disappearance of the Mary Celeste remains unsolved. Historians have studied weather records, ship logs, cargo reports, and witness accounts. While several theories seem possible, none can fully explain why 10 people abandoned a seaworthy vessel in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and were never seen again. The mystery continues to fascinate researchers, sailors, and history enthusiasts around the world. Was it a tragic accident caused by fear and bad weather? A series of unfortunate decisions? Or something stranger that has been lost to history forever? The Atlantic Ocean has kept its secret for more than a century, and the fate of the Mary Celeste's passengers remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries ever recorded at